Hey, and Happy New Year to you. It's officially the year 2020. Uh, I suppose celebrations are in order, and I'm sure there'll be some partying going on, and rightfully so. We need some kind of reason or justification to celebrate, or not, but typically, New Year, we tend to celebrate. And I think for most people, the celebrations have to do with the mentality of a new beginning to start over anew. You know, to get another chance to do things right that we may have been doing wrong or things that we forgot to do or intended to do and they got put on a back burner so they didn't get due to the level that we wanted to do those things. So, a new beginning. And if you're like a lot of people, um, you've probably made a New Year's resolution. I know I have. But my New Year's resolution, it really ain't that new. My New Year's resolution has been carried over from the year 2021, which got carried over from the year 2020, 2019, all the way back to 2011. So what that like 11 years, man, something like that. Yeah, I made a New Year's resolution in 2011, and I sought to keep that resolution. I could tell you what it is, but it's somewhat private. Not necessarily so private. People who know me or who's been around me, they can probably make a good ballpark guess about what that resolution is. But yeah, the resolution I made in 2011, I found out the hard way that it wasn't so as simple as it originally sounded. Um, it's not like as simple as I'm gonna lose X amount of pounds and get in shape for the summer. Those kind of things are relatively simple compared to the resolution I made in 2011. And yeah, it's been 11 years, and I have made progress. And there are times that I've thought about giving up, times that I've thought that I regressed or digressed or whatever the word is, times that I thought that I've moved backwards. But what's interesting, when the time about the times that I thought I've moved backwards, I found out that I really haven't. I had been going forward all along, and that was good news to me, and that encouraged me to keep on keeping on. But this whole thing about the New Year's resolution, I mean, to me, and this is just to me, I'm sure the masses might disagree, but to me, the whole thing about a new year is just an illusion. Um, I know we have our man made calendars that we believe we're using to track time by, the process of the dating system and that kind of thing. I also know about the I'm taking in consideration the process of growth, like you listening to this. I don't know how old you are or what have you, but you were once a little baby and you grew into an adult, and that also fosters a sense of time. The fact that we grew from a baby into adulthood physically proves that time is in action. But at a certain point, we start aging, and it seems like time is working against us. But that being said, my New Year's resolution, it had to do with time at first, the process of time, and then over the years I come to see that it has nothing to do with time. Because, like it says in the Bible, change can happen in an instant, and it does. Change happens in an instant, in the twinkling of an eye. Change, also understanding, can come in an instant, in the twinkling of an eye. I mean, an example of that I experienced. I somewhat recently started a new job, and while learning the ropes, there seemed to be a lot of confusion. I mean, so many moving parts and all these people coming at me, as if I had been on a job for years, asking me questions, and I'm new and I don't even know the policies and procedures yet. So all these factors were kind of disrupting, in my opinion, my learning process. And other factors too. But lo and behold, one day, as if by magic, understanding just kicked in. And I knew what I was doing. And I start functioning as I should. And everything's been okay since then. So understanding actually happened in the twinkling of an eye. Change. I went from confusion to knowing in an instant. But that being said, the resolution I made in 2011, I'm wondering if it's the same principle, except aside from a matter of a couple of months, 2-3 months, the factors, in the form of, and I'm using this job scenario as an analogy, the factors involved as far as all the confusion and the trying to figure out and this and that, I'm wondering if all that is playing a role to that change I'm trying to accomplish. Also, the fact that my own mind, my own imagination is getting involved, and it shouldn't be involved. It's trying to envision what this change would be, and I think that might be the greatest factor that's disrupting a process. Me trying to get my imagination out of the way of the process to understand what it is and what it will be. How's the saying go? Let go and let God. That's the hardest thing for any human being to do. And I don't care what anybody say. Anybody that say it's not, probably just a self-righteous individual. But it's hard to let go and let God. And I believe that because I believe if you truly accomplish the mechanism of letting go and letting God, boom, in an instant, there's that change. Or in my case, the change that I believe I'm looking for. But this whole thing about a new year, starting anew, to me, that's an illusion. There is no such thing as a new year, in my opinion. There's always a new day, but not a new year. I mean, I know people, I experience people saying this on a daily basis, almost a daily basis at least, when I encounter them. Hey, how you doing? You say hi or good morning to somebody, say how you doing, and they'll say something to the effect of, same day, I'm sorry, different day, same shit, different day. That kind of thing. And I've said it too. I'm guilty of saying that. I don't say it anymore, but I have in the past, and that's also have been part of the process of the New Year's resolution that I made in 2011, not speaking that into existence. I realized I had to stop. I know I had to force myself at first by using my own willpower, but I had to stop. And, you move on. So, after listening to so many people saying the same negative things that I used to say, the next challenge that I had was not to process what they say in my own mental system, not to process what they say and allow myself to get frustrated, because if I do, it's the same as if I'm saying it. So I had to change my approach again and stop asking people, hey, how you doing? I guess drastic times call for drastic measures. So, but again, the concept of a new year, it's kind of an illusion to me. There's always a new day. And the reason why I say there's always a new day, and maybe we should start making new day resolutions as opposed to new year resolutions. And the reason why I say there's a new day is because most of us, if you're relatively healthy or not, but most of us go to sleep at night, or whenever we go to sleep. We go to sleep. We sleep for a period of hours. And where do we go when we sleep? I don't know. It's speculated that we go into unconsciousness. Scientists have labeled different levels of the mind for particular levels that I'm privy to, or that I've actually studied, is the beta, the alpha, the theta, and the delta levels of mind. So supposedly we go into these different levels of mind when we start to doze off and go to sleep. We get drowsy, doze off and go to sleep, and we descend, for lack of a better word, into lower levels of mental existence. At least our consciousness descends into lower levels of mental existence, and some of us dream, and that's called the theta level. If you have a dream, you're experiencing the theta level of mind. Some of us go into deep darkness, where it's just pitch blackness, no perception, oblivion, the abyss. And that's called the delta. Before you get to any of those levels, you descend into the alpha level. For instance, the alpha level, you're in the alpha level Like you'll see little babies in the alpha level all the time. Like a little baby is dozing off, and you see a little baby trying to fight their sleep. So they're like in that zone where this wakeful reality is trying to intermingle with a lower dimension of mind. A baby's trying to stay awake. You've been in the alpha level. When you start to get drowsy, you feel the drowsiness and you're dozing. You might see little wisps of dreams or visions or what have you, but you're in the alpha level at that point. But all of us, when we fall asleep, all of us go into that delta level, that level of pitch blackness. And then we wake up the next day or whenever, and the day is new. So at that point, a new day's revolution, not revolution, resolution, revolution. Maybe it should be a revolution, but the new day's resolution should be in effect. We should have a new day's resolution. A new day's resolution to do better, to live better, to be better than we were the day before. In all aspects of life. Spiritually first. For as the man said, seek ye first the kingdom of God. And there you have it. There's the 2011 New Year's resolution that I made. That's been an ongoing thing. And that whole change that happens in an instant. I think I'm at my last hurdle, or approaching my last hurdle, or trying to get over that last hurdle. Not allowing for my imagination to get in the way of the process. Not trying to use my own mind to dictate how it should be or how it should happen. Let go and let God. Anyway, Happy New Year. This ain't champagne, it's coffee, but I still toast you anyway, and I wish you well. God bless.